Nonexistent video by the extremely talented Battington is about a secret videotape being found by Michael Afton, the son of the notorious William Afton, the purple guy, who is informed by Henry what the actual purpose of the videotape is and what he actually doing in the pizzeria. A necessary sacrifice which would let many trapped souls free, souls that have fallen victim to his father.
What's the matter, Foxy? I thought you wanted an audience.
Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator. This video will contain spoilers about the entire franchise of FNAF. With that said, let's begin. Thanks to Bespoke Post for sponsoring today's video. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering cool boxes of top shelf items from smaller brands that don't get the spotlight that they truly deserve. 90% of the products in boxes are from small businesses, many of which are based in the United States. For example, The Forge is a beautifully designed Damascus steel knife made by Buck and Bear Knives located in Pennsylvania, which you will find a joy to use in the kitchen. Every month, members are introduced to new products ranging from outdoor gear, home and kitchen goods, clothing, to much more. Based on a preference quiz when signing up, members receive tailored boxes corresponding to their preference. Bespoke Posts constantly update and change their box lineups, so there's always something new to look forward to. You can preview your box before it's shipped to you, so if you don't like what's inside, you can whether switch it with another that you prefer or just skip the month for no charge. Here are some of the new and noteworthy boxes of the month, with Roast and Weekender looking pretty good. I often rely on coffee to keep me going, doing long hours of editing and writing, and this product seems to be the full package. It comes with really well-made coffee beans from Barista Parlor. The box also includes a portable ceramic burr grinder and finally a portable press-to-go coffee maker, making the process of brewing coffee super easy. You can get 20% off your first box using GamerSault as a promo code when signing up, or going directly to the website bespokepost.com/GamerSault20 by clicking on the link down in the description. The tape starts as a usual training video about mascot assembly, or in other words, how to assemble the animatronics. The training video explains that there are two types of animatronics, the Fredbear and the Bunny Bun, depicting how it's an earlier version of the animatronics. The training video then continues that the mascots work both as animatronics, functioning by robots, and also as wearable costumes, letting them to function by humans inside them. This is said to be a cost-efficient way to keep the show going in case the endoskeletons fail. This leads to the perspective of an employee who wore the bunny bun costume, audibly nervous and panicking, being completely uncomfortable while performing on stage as the endoskeleton is being reportedly repaired. The employee then catches a glimpse of a man standing behind the stage, observing him, while having a large smile, being well dressed in a seemingly dark purple suit, with the screen then quickly flashing out with a purple light, clearly indicating that he was no other than the psychopathic killer, William Afton, also known as the Purple Guy, the orchestrator of chaos and death.
What's the matter, Foxy? I thought you wanted an audience.
The clip then changes to a crawling animatronic, clearly malfunctioning, turning off and on, with a member of staff or even a child hiding from it. The animatronic, being in its fiberglass layer, observes sketches from children on the wall, seemingly reminiscing on something, then continues on, chasing after the person hiding behind the wall. In a terrifying way, the face of the animatronic opens like Funtime Freddy, implying that it took this person's life. Meanwhile, there's apparently an alarm being sounded off for immediate evacuation for fire engulfing the place. The training footage is then back to normal, elaborating on how each mascot is formed. The first layer is the soft fabric costume, which seems to behave more like a cloth than a solid shape, explaining why the employees couldn't just wear them. The second layer is a fiberglass shell, which acts as the structure of each mascot, giving them their specific shape. The third layer is then explained to be an exoskeleton, where the mechanical endoskeleton seemingly sits within. The training footage then proceeds to explain when an employee wears the mascot costume, they in fact have to be inside the exoskeleton, replacing the endos, acting like the mechanical part. The footage explains how the exo supports all the weight using spring locks, making it easy for the wearer to move. There are some implications to this plan, however, as the spring locks can occasionally push the springs inwards in order to hold on tightly to the endoskeleton, which could potentially cause the wearer suffer an agonizing injury, which could even be fatal, but only if not calibrated correctly, so there's nothing to worry about. Or is there? The video then goes on to explain how to prepare the suit into costume mode so it won't injure the wearer. The spring locks need to be wound up by a hand crank from the lock sockets, and the wearer needs to trust his or her fate that nothing goes wrong, which explains why the employee wearing the bunny bun costume was so nervous on the stage. Details instruction specifically mentions that there are spring locks even in the head, which would be fatal if activated while wearer is inside. The video even explains that there's nothing to panic about in case of spring lock failure, indicating that there must have been accidents before.
To put on the spring locks too much. Next, you'll need to reattach the fiberglass shell back on. Then, put on the fabric layer. Once applied properly, put on the gloves and feet. Lastly, you'll need to put on the head, but before you do, you'll need to put the head into performer mode by winding up a small socket on the inside of the head to reveal the fake eyes. Perfect for you to see. In the event of a spring lock failure, do not panic. Keep as still as possible and call for help. Calm your breathing and have a partner wound up the hand crank to lock the spring locks once more. Then safely and gently remove the suit.
An informational text then quickly flashes in, entailing how Fredbear's jaw was recently upgraded to compensate for its large mouth compared to Bunny Bun's. 2 strong new hydraulics were installed to allow better movement of the jaw. An example clip then shows how Fredbear did in fact improve in mimicking mouth movement while talking, creating a better show for children. This soon backfires, however, as Michael Afton, the son of William Afton, alongside some of his friends, being kids and stupid, pull a prank on his little brother, known as the Crying Child, putting his head inside Fredbear's mouth, as Crying Child was terrified of animatronics. Laughing and thinking it's just a joke, bullying the little Crying Child, the newly upgraded jaw of Fredbear senses something heavy in its mouth, and to compensate the heavy load, it clasps its mouth shut, using the 2 new hydraulics, causing the poor Crying Child die in an agonizing way, suffering from severe head trauma. Michael Afton, traumatized by the scene and guilty of what he did, shuts down mentally, choosing to do good and help children in order to atone for his stupid mistake. A horrifying, irreversible mistake that took his little brother's life away. And that's how the tragic death of Crying Child became known to public as the Bite of 83. The video then changes to the perspective of Michael Afton, being a night guard in the pizzeria, being older now, where the new animatronics attack him at random times, trying to kill him, which he at first dismisses as a general malfunction, not yet fully knowing about the horrendous crimes and cruelty having yet happened there. Michael manages to find the 5th tape, which was apparently non-existent, so that it could only be found by him as it was intended for him, explaining to Michael that horrendous thing things have been happening in the pizzeria, and that he's the only person able to stop it. The confidential clip shows how an employee was trapped in the bunny bun suit, with the spring locks malfunctioning and the employee dying a horrible death after enduring a long and slow, excruciating pain. The video then explains that the same thing happened to Michael's father, William, who died only for a short while before coming back to life. Soon, Puppet comes out of a present box, seemingly having Charlotte Emily's soul infused inside it, another animatronic designed by Henry, the partner of William Afton, who created the animatronics together. Puppet was created to protect Charlotte Emily, but fails to do so as Emily gets locked out, with William killing her, having a sickness inside of him. This causes Henry to realize what he had done, helping a maniac having an urge to kill children have access to animatronics intended to entertain children, which causes him to make a plan to stop it all for his deceased daughter, for the crying child, the employees that were trapped in spring locks, and all the children that died, preventing any further damage and death. Henry instructs Michael to use gasoline and set the place ablaze, with all the animatronics and the possessed bunny bun, or commonly known as Springtrap, being present, so that they can all perish, as the only way to destroy the link between the trapped souls and the animatronics is to use fire. And indeed, Glitchtrap is possessed by no other than the angered soul of William Afton, the father of Michael. Michael, having the option to leave, yet feeling guilty about causing the death of his little brother, sets the place on fire, destroying the pizzeria, the atrocities committed inside it, setting all the trapped souls within the animatronics free, including himself, having his conscience finally cleared. William Afton created the training tape to indirectly pressure the employees into wearing the exoskeletons, which he knew too well would function the way they would, calling it malfunctioning, killing the employees in this horrid way. People often say you can experience hell and justice, known as karma, in real life, instead of waiting till death. Hence why William suffers a similar fate, being hunted by the souls of the children he killed mercilessly, causing him to hide inside an animatronic suit. The suit, as intended, causes the springs to push inwards, leading to the same painful death he inflicted on others. In fact, Henry and William worked on a little experiment which could make the animatronics more lifelike. They created a machine called Scooper, which injected the mascots with an element called Remnant, which were derived from the souls of murdered people, specifically children. Therefore, the animatronics that wanted to kill Michael in his night shift thought that he's William Afton due to the close physical resemblance he shared with his father, as they wanted to seek vengeance for what William did to them, killing them and stuffing their corpses in the animatronics, whose souls were infused with them, trapping them for eternity. The only way to break the link and destroy the remnants so the souls would break free would be to apply heat, hence why setting the place on fire with the animatronics inside would set the souls free. The animatronic with fiberglass shell in the training video crawling away seemed to look at the sketches as if remembering it was a child before, but ultimately gives in to its monstrous nature, chasing after the person hiding, as being inside the suits for too long makes the souls forget who they were, adopting their new monstrous natures. The puppet animatronic infusing the soul of the murdered Charlotte Emily shows Michael about the atrocities his father had done, so that with one final act he can do right and redeem himself and undo all the crimes and abominations committed. What a treat going over FNAF lore again. It's such a delight when the visuals are done in such a beautiful and realistic way, making us reimagine the story all over again. It's been your host Star, thanks for being here folks, and I will see you on the next one.